LIC. And can I have my screen, please? Can I have my first? I don't know where Mul is, but I want to let you know that, of course, today we are going to speak about Mother's Day. Since I know it's tomorrow, but since today is our worship service, so we want to kind of like give you a message that will encourage all of us. And now I just want to prepare you too that this message is for both moms and wives, okay? So it doesn't necessarily have to be just for mom, but for the wives and potential moms coming up. And so we want to bless you. And maybe like Awan, he starts with a little joke, so I just want to start with a mini joke. You know the saying that you teach a man, not you teach a man, you give a man a fish and he'll be filled for the day. But you teach him how to fish and he will be filled for the rest of his life. Well, one mother decided to teach her daughter a lesson from that phrase. So she said, you cook a fish for your husband and he'll be filled for the day. But you teach your husband how to fish and you get rid of him for the weekend. Okay? So anyways, for those of you who likes to get rid of your husband for the weekend, so you know how to do it now. I want to show you some pictures about from the animal kingdom about the love of a mother. And you tell me which one is the best mom out of these animal kingdoms. Okay, there's an otter, okay, and I don't know why there's no projector here, but anyways, I guess you can look at that one. And here's a kind of polar bear, and how with her cubs. And here's an elephant, kind of cute, playing with each other with their trunks. And then here's a tiger with his her cub as well. And then dolphins, and swimming together with the little dolphin. And then gorillas, right? Mommy gorillas with their baby gorillas, and then and more polar bears. Just cuddling one another. This is a typical mom and kids. But I would say that the mom, it would be the next picture, which is the winner, and that is us. Okay? So I hope that none of you moms are going to treat your children like that. Okay? So I don't know how they got this, but anyway, I thought it was a little cute that how all the other animals were hugging their little ones, and then this mother just grabbing him by its legs. So it's almost like reminds us of the Achilles, right? How the mother dips him into the water like that. Anyways, today, of course, like I said, we want to speak about moms. And let me ask you a quick quiz. And most of you should know this because, especially those of you who have been attending Bible studies, I'd like to ask you, what is the fifth command in the 10 Commandments? That's what I hear. Okay. I think some of you said honor your parents or honor your father and mother, which is correct. Okay. The fifth commandment, as you can see there in the second chapter or the second. Oh, okay, that one. The right part there is honoring your father and mother. Now, the full command looks like that: honor your mom and dad, basically, so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. Now, this first command in the right part or the second section or parts of the 10 Commandments is very unique because, as you all probably aware of, there's two things. Number one, we all know that this is the first command that comes with a promise. Paul makes it very clear in Ephesians chapter 6. He puts it this way: children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with a promise that it may go well with you, that you may enjoy long life on earth. And so in other words, this command here, the fifth command, or the first one in that second section, tells us that, if we obey this, there's an actual promise that comes with it, and that is that we will have a good long life here on earth. Now, if you look at that command, it's unique not only because it comes with a promise, but it is the first one in the second section of this 10 Commandments. Because the left side, as you can see, if you can think of a cross, the first part is like the vertical aspect, our relationship with God, okay? And that is the first 4 commandments. And the second part is the a horizontal side in which if we want to have a good relationship with people, it has to start, or we have to follow the sixth commandment there on the right side. And so that fifth commandment, or the first commandment in the second section, is so foundational because just like the first command, that we will not be able to do commandment number 2, 3, and 4 if we're not able to do number 1. Okay, so the first part, the first chapter, if you want to call it, our relationship with God, basically it's saying that if we want to have a good relationship with God, if we want to have a healthy relationship with God, it starts with the first part there, and that is to love God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength. That means have no other God beside me. Okay? And so this is makes sense because we talked about it last week about the first fruit. That somehow in the Bible there's a big theme about God wanting to be first in our life. You know, by giving the first fruit to Him. And so this is the same thing. And so now the second part with man is the same thing. It says that if we can't honor our father and mother, then how are we supposed to honor the people outside our family? Okay? Because think about it for a second. The first human relationship that any human being has or have is with the parents. Right? Under normal circumstances, when we are born into a family, our first relationship that we have, okay, a baby has, is with the mom and dad. And if we want to be more specific, it is actually with the mother. Right? Because in the conception, we saw that last week, you know, and then the cell becomes bigger and bigger and becomes a fetus, and it's growing in the mother's womb for 9 months. That baby, that fetus, has a relationship with the mother first. You know, the emotion kind of impact each other. The mom's emotion will impact the baby, and the baby's emotion, will impact the mother. So that first relationship is with the mother. But even when the baby comes out, the first relationship is with the parents. And I dare to say that that relationship will even precede our relationship with God. At least, a baby are not able to have a relationship that we think can, that coherently with God until they are older. So, and a good example of this is actually Samuel. If you remember Samuel, when he was dedicated after he was weaned by the Hannah, the mother, he was brought to the temple, and Eli had to raise him up. And in 1 Samuel 3, it says like this. It says that, now Samuel did not yet know the Lord. The word of the Lord had not yet been revealed to him. So if you remember that story, God called Samuel 3 times. And all 3 times, Samuel did not recognize God's voice until Eli instructed him on the 4th call, this is how you're supposed to respond. So it shows there that a child doesn't even know how to relate to God until the parents teach them. This tells us again as parents how important it is for us to teach our children how to hear God, how to relate to God, how to commune with God, how to communicate, two-way relationship with God. But again, back to the law again, what I'm trying to emphasize here is this. If we are unable to have a healthy relationship with our parents, then how can we have a healthy relationship with our spouse, with our friends, with our siblings, with our colleagues, with our neighbors? Because that's what it's saying there. If you want to have a good relationship, if you want to have a healthy and joyful relationship here on earth, then it starts with commandment number 5, which is learn to honor your father and your mother. And that's why it makes sense what the promise says. The promise says that honor your father and mother because this is the first commandment. Okay? That's what it says right there. That it may go well with you and that you may enjoy life on earth. Because if we don't know how to get along with people, we won't have an enjoyable life on earth. It won't go well on earth because we need each other. But it starts with honoring our father and our mother. And that's why that promise makes a lot of sense. In the left side of the commandment, remember I said, if you want to have a healthy relationship with God and have eternal life, you need to put God first. You want to have a healthy relationship on earth and have a long, joyful life here on earth, then we need to learn first to honor our mom and dads. Because if you can't do that, then the probability is that you won't be able to honor people around us. Because if our parents who we have that first relationship with, we can't honor them, then how can we honor our spouse, our children?